I have no problem with the Samaritan Inn, as it is, not where it is, but the location, I do have a problem with that. And I'm a retired police officer. I have dealt with the homeless, all right? And unfortunately, with you guys, you need to handpick the people that you bring into this program, but you can help. That's, God bless you for that. Okay? That's very good. If you help them, that's great. But the problem is, there's homeless people out there now. There's homeless people wandering our streets out there now.
Yes.
And there are
I've met them.
in Plano. And the fact is that that man said that, no, not really a good place for them to do things with. Better locations than that. There is also a criteria. Those people you help, you can't pick. For everyone you can't pick there, the 70% that you help, I can give you just about as many people that have been turned down or can't help, and they come up there and they scream at you, they cuss you out, they do things. I have taken to jail, I have done numerous things where I got, spit at, you name it, it happened. Okay? Swine flu, whole 9 yards. All right? So, this is not a good location. I don't really see this location just because I don't like it there. There are better places, like the gentleman that's from the Kansas City Council. There are a lot better places than back down in East Plano. And like you said, the West guy gets all the good things. We get all the bad things. And I'm sorry. I'm tired of being stepped on from the city and other people. I want good things for us too on that east side. There's a lot of locations, and I thank you for your time.
I want to say something very quickly. I just want to remind everybody that we're not site specific. We are open to other locations. A couple people mentioned some other locations. I'd love to talk to you after the meeting. I have to tell you, I have an emotional reaction to a lot of this because of my job. The people that we serve are not bad people. They're homeless. 2 people in the audience talked about having children living at home because they were unemployed. That's a fact of life. That's happening right now. The people that we're helping are the people who don't have parents that they can stay with for 14 or 15 months. Is that the right location? I have no idea. We'll certainly talk about that. But any location, regardless of the train, is better than sleeping outside at night, especially if you're a mother with young children. So yes, let's talk about location, but these are not bad people.
Next speaker is David Marks.
Good evening. I just had a couple of questions. I'm a resident of Plano for 25 years. I'm involved in the community. But for the grace of God, we live in the house. So I believe you. I believe in the program. I think if we could save people from living under bridges and in cardboard boxes, we have an obligation to do that. I just want to make sure that I understand just how the funding works, because I'm not used to this. Now, these are HUD funds, they're federal funds, they're allocated to the city, but we're not using them. So they're being loaned to you, or are they allocated? I'm not quite understanding the terminology. But then you have to pay them back over a 10-year period. There's interest, I understand that the terms of the loan have to be worked out, but then is there any sort of stipulation as to whether or not, let's say, are those funds already earmarked and they're set aside, and then you just have to pay that back, or is there the danger 5 years into the program that the HUD funds get cut and then you don't have the funds available, or what if you can't make the payments back? Does the city foreclose on you? Or I'm trying to understand the economics of it.
Okay. Will you stay right here so I can make sure I answer your question?
Well, I don't know if you have an
Okay, I'll try to walk through how the HUD part of this this works. And so I'll try to walk through it, and maybe as questions come up, you can ask me about this. What will happen is the city of Plano will ask for a loan from HUD. Now, that's what we're going to the city council for next week, Monday. And that, again, it's not attached to land, it's just to say, yes, we know someplace we need to have some kind of program going forward. If that city council at that point says yes, then the city will take out an application in which they will apply to HUD for this loan. And right now it's $700,000. At that point, it takes about 6 months. HUD will send us a check for $700,000. So it doesn't come out of any funding within the city or anything. It's upfront money. Then over the next 10 years, the plan is the city of Plano will pay back HUD at about $70,000 a year. The Samaritan Inn said, well, you know, we would pay the interest on it, which is about 2.5%, somewhere in between there. Our agreement with the city was, now HUD says you've got 5 years to get something going with the money that we gave you. So we said to the city, we'll do it in 3. And the reason we said that, and that's the plan that you see up there, is that the reason we said 3 was to be fair to the city, that if for some reason we defaulted, let's say we can't get the capital campaign going, the money isn't there, we can't get the doors open, the city has 2 years to deal with that property. But the property value, and you can probably speak to that, when we looked at it, and about a year or so ago, it's worth they were asking price was $1 million. We're getting it for $700,000. So the city, even if they over the 3 years, I would expect the economy to slowly come back, even if it stayed where it is, and the city sold the property, said, you know what, we're going to unload it and sell it as research technology back to somebody, they'll make money on the deal. And so, well, break even at worst, okay? And that would be the hope. And again, yes, the variable in there is the property value, will it sustain, will it go down? But we looked at the piece of property next door, and that's been one of the questions, you know, is this a fair market price? Yes, it's at and just slightly below actually fair market price for that piece of property.
So here it says that the land is to be purchased with an allocation from the funds that are already earmarked for construction project.
Yes.
But yet we're asking HUD for a loan.
Correct. Because HUD will pay the money right up front.
We can't hear what you're asking.
Oh,
I'm just trying to understand, because we're talking about here that the funds are already earmarked, that they're already, it's an allocation of the city's CDBG fund, I guess the block grant fund.
yes.
So they're already allocated to us. I don't understand the process that we have to ask HUD for a loan.
Because the city can't afford to put up $700,000 right up front to buy the property. We can't afford to put up $700,000 right up front. If I buy the property from you, you want your $700,000 tomorrow. Okay? So if HUD says, so from HUD, we're saying HUD, cheaper than any bank in town, says we can get it to you for 2%, we'll lend you the money, you pay us back, you come up with the terms of what you think is fair to pay us back, we get the money right up front, purchase the property, that lets us go out, start the capital campaign to build the buildings as fast as possible. Otherwise, if we did it, we'd have to work out a loan from the city to pay and we don't, that's where we're out of that deal. The land is actually being bought by the city owns the land, and they're buying it from the person, the seller, which is Temple Baptist Church. And so, if you're the seller, you want your money right up front. And that's what helps.
The city has to pay HUD back.
Then the city gets $1.5 million a year from HUD. Of that, none of the money going to any of the social services through the CDBG is affected by it. HUD will say, out of that $1.5 million we get, and the city will say that we're going to pay back, take $70,000 that we get from HUD, and we're going to pay them back with their own money. Okay. Oh, I got 30 minutes with this. Sorry.
Sorry for taking too long.
Oh, that's okay. That's a real good.
That's a great question to discuss after the meeting. Seriously, we'll be up here, you know, if there's personal, I don't understand it, people are, that's like the right thing to do. Next, and we have only 2 more speakers. So the next speaker is Susan Brightson.